Hi, and welcome to Untethered with Jen Liss, the podcast that's here to help you break free, be you, and unleash your inner brilliance. I'm your host, Jen, and in this episode, we're going to talk about how to choose to show up with your gifts today. Let's dive in. Hey everyone, it's Jen. Welcome back to the podcast for this Thursday thread. It's a Thursday thread. It's a Thursday thread. It's a Thursday thread. Yes, it is a Thursday thread. We are pulling a little piece out of Mitzi Campbell's episode from Tuesday. Totally okay. If you have not listened to that episode with Mitzi, I'm going to pull something out that is pretty dang universal. And it's funny because speaking of the universe, my word of the year this year is space. And I'm exploring all of the ways that space is, who knows? I have no idea where this word is going to take me. Every time that I choose a word of the year, it takes me in all different directions. Really funny because when I went to this ecstatic dance experience a few months ago, the theme of the experience was space. And I was like, what the hell does that mean? What do I expect when I show up to something where the theme is space? Are people going to be in spacesuits? Nobody was in spacesuits, by the way. And it was in a really interesting space that by the end of it smelled like body odor for sure. But it was really fun. Anyway, I digress. Space. I needed to give myself some space for this Thursday thread. Sometimes I instantly know exactly what I want to pull out. And I felt like I had to take a moment to sit back and say, what is it that is really speaking to me in this conversation? And it was such a powerful conversation. And it's not because there weren't amazing themes all throughout this entire chat that I had with Mitzi, but it's because what we're talking about in that conversation is a reflection of my own experience. And it's the experience of so many humans who I know, many of the people who have come on this podcast, probably every person who has come on this podcast, as well as what Mitzi herself has experienced in her life and is experiencing, and I'm still experiencing, and everybody is. And that is allowing ourselves to show up exactly as who we are with the gifts that we have and we know and can contribute right now, today. What is it that you have that people need? Because this is always true. You always have something in the here and the now that you can contribute. But what the mind will do, the mind will trick us into saying, no, you're not good enough yet. You don't have the credentials yet. You're not there yet. You don't have enough yet. The mind will always be telling us that story of not enough until we can intercept it. And I also believe, I'm not sure that that ever fully goes away because the brain is always going, the ego is always talking and chattering and trying to distract us. But you are enough right now and you're growing. It's both. It's a yes and. Both of those things exist for you and in the here and the now. And so we can always be showing up for others and for ourselves with exactly everything that we have in our arsenal today, everything that is in your suitcase today. Yes, you're on a journey. Yes, you're going to gain more. And there's things that right now are serving you. And those things that are serving you or have served you and all of the things that you've learned, you can turn around and support others with them. This is so important because if we don't recognize them, if we don't stop to reflect, something that Mitzi talked about is like the power of anything comes in the reflection. It doesn't matter whether you're reading a book, you're taking a coaching program, you just watched a movie. The power comes in the actual reflection, talking about it, thinking about your thinking about it. That is where we learn. And so many of us, I mean, I myself have been there. And first of all, I'm a huge proponent of coaching the best people, the best athletes, the best people who are on TV. Like everybody has coaches, the people who are at the top of their class. It doesn't matter what they do. They have somehow received strong coaching along the way. And there are a lot of us, there are a lot of people out there who are addicted to taking coaching programs for this like incessant feeling that they're like trying to get to, but it's not serving you. You're not getting there. You're not getting the results out of it that you wanted. Why is that happening? How much reflection, how much active reflection and action are you taking? Because something that Mitzi said, you have to actively engage with whatever it is that you are bringing into your life. Doesn't matter if you're just sitting down with a self-development book or whether you're in a coaching program or whether you're enjoying breath work or whatever the thing is that you're doing, whether you're having dinner with friends, how much are you actively engaging it right there in the here and now in the conversation with your friends? And I feel like I can talk about this because it is something that I myself have struggled with so freaking much. And I still do. My husband will be like, hello, are you there? I get caught in the rumination of thoughts. There's a difference between active reflection, the awareness that I am thinking about my thinking, and that I am not the thinking. I am actually the consciousness that is capable of seeing the thinking that is happening, that I am. And the getting caught up in the rumination. And a lot of us spend so much time there in the rumination. The rumination keeps you from the action. Step out of the rumination and don't shame yourself for it. There's no reason to shame ourselves. That does not help you move forward, even though that feels like a very natural thing to do because we're so used to it in our society. Shame is really, really deeply ingrained in all of us. It has controlled us for so freaking long, for everyone, but especially for women, especially if you grew up in certain religious beliefs, certain things that have kept us from fully being able to step into our power. We feel shame. So how much can we unpeel and let go of the shame that we experience along our self-development journey and actively reflect on what is it that I gained? What is it that I'm feeling? What is it that I'm learning? What is it that I just experienced? What did I gain from that? These are the questions that really lead us in a powerful direction, and tuning into the active feelings and the sensations that are in your body. So important. So important, because part of your ego, it's not just the thoughts that you have. It's not just the chatter of the mind. It's the chatter of the emotions, the chatter of the emotions that are in your physical body. If you have no connection to the emotions and you're totally absorbed in those thoughts and you actually believe that you are the thoughts, that that's all that you are is those thoughts that are in your head, you're going to have a hard time doing active reflection and a hard time actively moving forward. And again, no shame. No shame in the self-development game. Let's remove it from the picture completely. Compassion for yourself. You are where you are, and that's amazing and it's beautiful. And if right now is the first time that you're realizing, oh my goodness, I could be actively reflecting on my life and actively stepping in and becoming an active participant in my healing, in my journey, actively showing up with my gifts. Fucking beautiful. Welcome. Welcome to the opportunity to step into your power. We are all here to welcome you with open frickin' arms. The more people on this journey, the better. And if you ever feel like the space is crowded, go somewhere where you are not normally hanging out and go look around and feel that there is a need for you and your gifts and your talents and your skills. You've been called to this journey for a reason. The world needs it. It does. Shift those beliefs around the shame. Offer yourself compassion, radical compassion, radical self-awareness. And remember, there is a difference between rumination and self-awareness. Rumination is getting lost in those thoughts that you think are you, that are actually your ego mind. Awareness is the awareness that you are the witness to that rumination. You are the witness to the thoughts. You can step back and say, whoa, what is happening in here? So fascinating. What is that swirl? When we can learn to step back and see it again, personally believe breath work is the most powerful way to step out of that swirl and into your actual presence of the brilliance and the magnificence of everything that you are. It's so powerful. There are other ways to do it, many, many other ways to do it. However, using your breath and shifting your energy and bringing your awareness into the felt sense of your body, into the emotion and into the presence of your beingness. Woo! Ain't nothing like it, my friend. Come breathe with me. Would love to have you in brilliant breath work with us, breathing and feeling and getting to witness this and getting to invite compassion and getting to release shame and let go of all of those things that are strapping us from fully stepping in with our gifts in the here and the now. Because even if it's not your ultimate destination and you know it, there is something that you have inside of you that you can help people with right now. This quote from Mitzi, I posted it on my Instagram the other day. If there is something that's on your heart to do, then that means it is your responsibility to put it out there. There is someone who needs it. It is put on your heart because you can bring it into this physical reality. That's why it has called to you. You can bring it forth. Are you going to say yes? Or are you going to close that door? Either way, it's okay. It is your choice. But what are you going to choose today? To close this episode, I'd like to invite you to take a few deep breaths with myself, with this collective, really letting yourself feel into the wholeness of who you are and what you came here to do. So taking a nice big deep inhale through the nose. And if you are not driving, if you are seated, if you are stable, if you are supported in a chair, closing down your eyes on that exhale. Go ahead and keep rotating that breath deep into the nose and out through the mouth. Inviting a softness of that breath, expanding the belly on the inhale. Letting that breath go on the exhale. And inviting a question. What are the true gifts that I possess right now, today? Inhaling and exhaling. Inviting this question into your awareness. What are the true gifts that I hold? And what can I manifest with these gifts today? Letting your body respond. Maybe the mind responds. Maybe you feel a sensation or a word. Maybe nothing at all. Just allowing your presence to simmer with these questions. And when you're ready, taking one last deep inhale into the belly, expanding that belly. On an exhale, letting it go with a sigh. Letting your eyes back open when you're ready. Just coming fully back into the present with this new sense of knowing that you can come back to these questions, come back to this little breath session anytime that you need it to check back in with who you are and what your gifts are and how you can be showing up with them in any moment. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. It means the world to me that you did. You just keep shining your magical unicorn light out there for all to see. I'll see you next time. Bye.